Hey, how's it going, Kathleen?
Good,
Nice
good.
to see you.
Nice to see you. Ready? Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Naylor. I'm Minister for Transportation and Infrastructure, as well as Consumer Protection and Government Services. I'm also the MLA for Wellesley. And I want to thank everyone for being here on this chilly fall morning with us today. I want to begin by saying that on behalf of our Manitoba government, we honor the sacredness and importance of this land and of the ancestors that once walked where we are standing today. The Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Dene, the Dakota, the Anishinaabe Nation, as well as the Inuit and Métis people who paved the way to what is now known as Manitoba, home to all treaty people. We share this information as a reminder of our treaty histories and the original homelands of these nations, which have become home to all of us here today. Our speakers this morning are Premier Wab Kinew, Dr. Lloyd Axworthy, the Chair of the Business Council of Manitoba, Mike Pyle, and Mayor Gillingham, as well as Executive Director of the Social Planning Council of Winnipeg, Kate Keller. We're also joined by the Minister of Municipal and Northern Relations and Minister of Indigenous Economic Development, Ian Bushy, as well as Kathleen Blue Sky from Treaty 1 Development Corporation. Rail relocation has been on the minds of Winnipeggers for decades, and to share the exciting details of what we are here for today, I will invite our Premier to the podium.
Thanks, Minister Naylor, and thanks to everybody for joining us here today. So we're very proud to announce that we've asked Lloyd Axworthy to help us study the idea of rail relocation and to see how this could fit into the province and city's plans for the future of our economy, our society, and all of our communities. One of the really exciting things that we get to do with the great honor that has been bestowed upon us by you, the people of Manitoba, is to spend some time thinking about the future and to envision what we want our kids and grandkids Manitoba to look like. And as you look around here today and you see leaders from the Indigenous community, from the business world, from social and activist ranks, as well as from the academy, it really does speak to a Manitoba where we all work together to build the future that we want for the next generation. And so following through on a commitment in our budget this year, we're investing $200,000 in this fiscal year to be able to start the work of having Dr. Axworthy examine the prospect of rail relocation and to talk about how our upcoming decisions around infrastructure and capital investment can be informed by these plans. Now specifically, we're obviously here next to one rail yard in particular, but I want to make clear that this is about rail yards within the capital region generally and with a broader mandate. Of course, the tracks that divide the north end from downtown have often been the subject of discussion. But we also know that there are rail yards in St. Boniface, in Transcona, that there's a spur line connecting to the North End Water Pollution Control Center, which is itself a major infrastructure investment. And so knowing full well that Dr. Axworthy has a ton of horsepower and a lot of smarts that he can bring to bear on this topic, we're going to ask him to take a global view of all these various infrastructure, economic, community, and social dimensions that come in with deliberating on the future of rail in the city, in the capital region, in the province, and asking what's the right mix? What's the right mix between having the rail lines continue to power our economy and then weighing that against considerations around housing, around society, around community needs. And where do we want to go from here in terms of having that interconnection between different parts of Winnipeg and Manitoba that help to foster some of the creative industries and social opportunities that we know are going to be important for the next 100 years as well. So we have a ton of exciting conversations ahead, And what we're very pleased to be here today, along with many of our partners with, is to say that this good work is now going to begin under the leadership of Dr. Lloyd Axworthy. So, on behalf of our team, to Lloyd, I want to say thanks for taking this on. Miigwech, merci, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Premier. And now I will invite the study lead, Dr. Lloyd Axworthy, to share a few words with you.
Well, thank you, Minister, and let me begin by thanking the Premier for entrusting me with this very exciting task to think about the future of Winnipeg and just how much railways since the beginning of our history have played an important part in shaping who we are, what we do, and what ultimately what we can become. There's been a lot of efforts over the years to come to grips with how the railways, as they change to their own technology and are available and open to discussing how we could integrate a plan that would incorporate all the best new ideas of transportation and really cement Winnipeg's future as a hub of transportation, but do it in a way that also opens up opportunities for the city itself. As the Premier mentioned, there are already lots of discussions about options that could be considered in terms of relocating. I sort of trace my history back to the fact that as a kid growing up in the north end of Winnipeg, I used to walk across the Arlington Bridge every Sunday from where we lived on Manitoba Avenue to where my grandparents lived on Alverstone Street to have Sunday dinner, and I just, I guess maybe became enamored by the whole idea of a railway. And I've had the family connections. My father worked for the CN at one point, and all my family up in Saskatchewan were CN people. That doesn't mean to say I'm not interested in CP and Gateway, but nevertheless, there's just a lot of railway blood in my veins. And I've always felt that one of the big and crucial issues we have as a city as we've tried to shape it is make sure that the transportation sort of value is not only maintained but given an enhancement. And at the same time, I think there are concerns. Clearly, there's safety and security concerns. We've seen across Canada a number of areas where rail derailments have caused serious risks to residential areas, to people. I think it requires us to take a serious look at what that particular sort of risk scenario is for the city, and what we can make sure to provide the best kind of protection for residents. That means I think we'll have to have a very significant